Audio Jungle.
Oh yeah! What do you get when you put four of the most opinionated grown-ass single men on one show? You get the middle-aged, still single podcast! Let's meet the crew!
Audio Jungle.
Mitchell! Nasir!
Audio Jungle.
Nemo! Big Rob! Let's get it! All right, good afternoon. Happy Easter. This is Rob. This is Middle Age Still Single, the podcast. This is a very, very special day. From all the feedback I've gotten, a lot of the women, they want a woman's point of view. And today we have our very first guest. And she is a very, I don't want to say an old friend of mine with emphasis on old, but we've been friends a long time. The beautiful Miss Jena. Say hello, Miss Jena.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Happy Easter, too.
Happy Easter. All right. And as always, I have Mitchell, Nasir, and Nemo with me. The fellas, we are back from Thailand, fresh off of our Thailand trip. And we're ready to get into it. We got a lot to talk about today, and we only have our guest for a limited amount of time. She was she was nice enough to give us some time during Easter while she's hosting Easter dinner. So we're gonna get straight to it. Miss Jena, just briefly, just tell us a little bit about yourself and your history.
Yeah, sure.
What you do.
So I'm in the wine industry. So I have my own small wine company. I also am senior vice president of Wine Direct. So I'm head of sales, talent, and culture, and whatever else. I have 3 children. They're all adults now, if you can believe that. And what else? I enjoy dancing, tennis. I took up tennis recently, and whatever, hanging out, lots of wine, lots of good wine.
Okay. So, Miss Jena, so let's get to it here. So you're a beautiful, middle-aged, very successful woman. Right?
Thank you.
What are you looking for in a man? What is, what's driving you, to find a relationship?
I think most important is, of course I need a patient man, but other than that.
That is true.
I need patience, but, I like them. Okay. So for me, a big sense of humor is everything. Like, I have to be able to laugh. And I have to say, I learned that from I appreciate you, Robert, for that. Because what I find is if you have problems, if you can laugh about it, if you can laugh at yourself, if you can laugh at one another, it kind of takes the sting out, and you actually have the bandwidth and the space to process things versus just, sometimes when it's too intense, I'm good. So a sense of humor. I do, yes, like a man who is in a provider position. Not that I need providing for, but I like to know that my man has the wherewithal to handle things.
Okay. Anything specific? Like, you have a physical type,
I just athletic and, athletic in shape. I mean, I'm dating middle-aged men, so I realize that they're not going to, we're not going to have 30-year-old bodies anymore. But I don't like a man who is health conscious.
Okay.
But I do like a little yummy. Like, I don't mind if there's a little, a little punch, a little dad bod going on. I'm good with that. So
you see Nemo over there flexing for you? You see him over there?
Right? So, yeah.
Are you familiar with the word simp? If you aren't, that's him right there to the bottom left.
It's terrible.
Nah, he's a good guy.
All right. So you've watched our show, right? You've spent some time watching our podcast. Like, give us your impressions. Like, what do you think we need to do to really take this podcast to the next level?
You probably need the voice of a woman. You probably no. You guys are good. Listen, you have wonderful personalities. Everybody loves vulnerability, so continue to be vulnerable. Share the struggles, share the frustrations, and share what you like. And when something touches you, like, we want to know what that is.
We just had a segment on vulnerability. It was a lively discussion.
Yes, I bet.
All right, Nemo, go ahead, man. You got a question for her? You seem you making all these faces, brother, like you ain't never seen a beautiful woman before. Come on.
See me bring this out or this out? No, I'm
You
just
good?
listening. But I do have a question, though. I do
Go
have a
ahead.
question. So, what your last relationship? If you, I mean, you don't have to answer the question. What
But don't
happened
ask it.
exactly?
How did it end?
Yes.
Welcome to the show, Jena.
That's why he's single, man. That's why he's single.
Right. Just get on
Just
in
get right
there.
up in it. Just get right up in it.
No
I
candle,
wanna know.
no candle, no loo, huh? Just get
Nope.
on in there. Well, interestingly enough, first of all, Nemo, we shouldn't. It was somebody I was dating. I don't know if we call it a relationship, but we were close enough, right? And I will tell you that. So I had a feeling. I always had this feeling that something was going on, right? But he would always, I'm like, listen, if we're just dating, I'm cool with that too. But he's like, no, it's all about you, and okay. But I'm like, you know how it is. The woman's intuition. I knew something else was going on, and so we had just gotten back from a trip together, and anyway, long story short. He called me. I didn't pick up, but I called him back like 5 minutes later, and he accidentally picked up the phone. Now, and this is after being I didn't know where he was for 2 or 3 hours. We were trying to, because we had plans and whatever. He accidentally picked up the phone. It went on for probably a minute or two. He finally realized that he accidentally picked up the phone. He hung up the phone, and I never heard from him since.
Wow. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you go ahead, man. You got the yellow card now. You got another question, Nemo?
Yes. So, would you say you know what you want from a man at this stage in your life compared to 5 years ago?
No, I think I knew what I wanted 5 years ago too, but it does change. I think with over time and when you're at different stages of your life, what you want and what you need looks very different. I mean, 5 years ago, my son, who's now 18, was 13, right? So what mattered to me then was, okay, because somebody who can make room for my son in his life. Is he interested in this type of dynamic? That's not so important to me right now. Right. I mean, so what you need and what you want at different stages of your life changes. Okay. But yes, I'm very clear on what I want and what I prefer.
Okay. Mitchell, you got a question for Miss Jena?
I do. Hi, Jena. Welcome to the show, and thanks for making the time, especially on Easter. So it's my understanding you haven't been in Vegas your entire life. Is that correct?
Almost 2 years.
Okay. So you've dated in other cities. So my question is, do you find Vegas to be more difficult to date in just because of the nature of Vegas? And I ask that because I'm there about 5 times a year. My great nephews are there. Yeah. My brother and my sister-in-law own a house there. I mean, I've just got a ton of family and friends there. So I'm just curious if it's a little more difficult there.
Yeah. Everybody says the dating life here is terrible. When I got here, I did some dating online, which is how I met the guy who, disappeared. I think it's tough here, and for a few reasons. So I'm from the Bay Area originally, and obviously in the Bay Area, you have finance in the Bay Area, you have tech in the South Bay. I think so. For me, being a professional woman, I like to date professional men, and
right.
I think it's harder. I think it's harder to do because this is such a sort of hospitality-driven, blue-collar type of city, And so if I want to date an executive type, it's usually somebody who's coming in and going out. And that's not really conducive for, a real dating situation. But yeah, it's tough here. I'm not going to lie. It's tough here. Honestly, the gentlemen I do date typically don't live here.
Naj, you got a question for Ms. Jenner so far?
Yeah. So you're in the wine industry, correct?
I am. Yeah.
How inappropriate is it for me to be drinking wine out of this glass?
Well, you can, if you're at home, you can drink out of whatever you like, sir.
All right. My question is, you were talking about a little bit earlier the kind of the requirements of the guy that you're looking for,
Mhm.
and those are full stop, right? Like one of them was um, someone who could financially. He said he can do it. It's not a requirement, but he needs to be able to do it. Like, is that what you said? Am I saying
That's a
that the
good
right way?
paraphrase. Yes. I mean, I'm not looking for to make my house payment, but I would like someone who, if we decide to go away for the weekend, is not like, okay, I'll cover this, you cover that. Like, take me away. If we're going to go away, let's go away, right? Take me. Now, if we're planning a 2-week vacation and he's like, look, babe, I can cover XYZ. Can you just cover this? I'll be like, all right, let's talk about it. But I would just like a man who, every time we go out or do something a little extra, we don't have to negotiate who's doing what.
Okay.
And I'm a
All
woman,
right.
let me be very clear. I do like to be courted. I'm a woman who likes to be courted. You know, if you look back in the history of, why, things like flowers and candy, like, why is that romantic? Well, it's because if you look back in history, when women are of a certain, when you're looking for someone to mate with or to breed with, right, or start a family, it's someone who can bring those extras. It demonstrates that he has the means to provide for you and then some, right? I can provide for you. I can provide for children. I can create a world for us. And that's what those things represented, in more archaic times. Now, I think it's just more of a gesture of romance than kind of, what you do. So I'm more interested in a man, who will get to know me and desire to court me, but who at the same time is finding out what I like. Don't just bring me 12 red roses because that's not really what I like. If it's your first date, okay, great, I get it. But I'm somebody I will definitely let you know. I'm pretty easygoing until there's something specific that I like or want, and I will tell you what I like or want. Otherwise, if you ask me like, hey, do you want to go here? I'm like, I don't care, you decide. Now, if I'm really craving something, I'll go, ooh, can we please go here tonight? And I'll tell you what I want. Otherwise, I'm pretty easygoing.
So would you say that a guy's the finances are a representation of something deeper for you, like a guy who has maybe gotten to an executive level or a business
Mhm.
owner or
Yeah.
who has achieved in his career offers you something more. I mean, obviously, the as you grow, as you achieve more in life, your money goes up, or it should,
Typically, yes.
right?
It's an indicator of,
Typically,
it's one indicator of your success level.
it's an indicator of success, right? But also, I find that some of the things that guys look for when we are looking for a woman is someone who we connect with. Like me, I like to talk about non-traditional subjects. Like I like to talk about space and science and things
Yes.
like that, right? And so when you're with a guy and do you find that these guys that you dated on that executive level are able to communicate with you on that level, or are they still pretty basic? Because I think that when a guy achieves a certain amount of success in business, that he does bring another level of, like, he can teach you something, is what I'm trying to get
Okay,
to.
so that is one thing that I typically will say is I like a man who can teach me something. I'm like you. I'm into cryptocurrency. I want to talk about what are you investing in? Why? What's your portfolio look like? I want to talk about, I'm very much into conspiracy theories and, um, just different dimensions. I'm into the metaverse. Like, these are things that I would like a partner to be able to say, yeah, I'm into that too. Like, here's what I know. What do you know? Let's put it together. Let's talk about it. So yes, I am looking for
Right.
somebody who can bring a world of knowledge, different interests. The guy on the dating app who's holding up a fish is probably not the guy for me.
Right, right. So I understood some people might not. Like, some guys may see this and say, oh, she talked about money. But because a lot of us can look behind, like, guys who have achieved, all of us on here are pretty successful guys in our fields, right? So we can connect with a woman like you. We get it,
Yeah.
right? even though Nemo was simping in the beginning, he still really he does get it, right?
Yeah.
We give him a hard time, but my point is when you mentioned that, the reason why I wanted to flesh that out
Yes.
is because I don't see you as a woman who is just about the money. But a lot of guys are going to say, well, that's what she was about, when really you are also looking for a guy that can communicate with you
Yes.
in an interesting way. I wanted to just kind of work through that.
I appreciate that. Yes. Thank you for crystallizing that sentiment. Yes, it is about, because I want to talk about, okay, what are we, how do you think about retirement? Are you just solely relying on your, there's just different things that I want to talk about. And if it's an incongruent relationship, I feel like sometimes I'm having to, for lack of a better word right now, I hate to say this, but dumb down my conversation. Do you know what I mean? And I can't bring up some things I want to talk about because that person may not also be there,
Which is another reason why you go for guys that are cheap.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nemo.
Nemo got the yellow flag going. Go ahead, Nemo.
Yeah, it was close to a red, but I stick to the yellow one. All right. So let's say you find a man financially stable, but can't make you laugh. What would you do?
It wouldn't go very far. We wouldn't get far.
Wow.
I have a follow-up
It's
to
not about
that.
the money.
No.
Perfect.
How do you, not just you, but maybe say women in general that or just if you can speak for all women, if your man gave you that intelligence and gave you that humor and that emotional support that you need or want, but you made more money than him. Now, I'm not saying he's working minimum wage,
Right.
but if you made a significant amount more than him, but he's still making, say, six figures, where would you stand for that?
I'm good with that. Yeah, I'm good with that.
As long as he's comfortable with that.
Yeah, as long as he can hold it down and, we good with that.
You're supposed to be saying stuff to make us fight. You're not supposed to be on here.
Okay, let me be controversial.
You're not supposed to be on here agreeing and making yourself look good.
Wait till we get to the video.
But I will tell you that. Sorry, the thing is that I've done a lot of work to get here, and I had to think long and hard about what do I believe in, where do I stand, why do I feel this way? I mean, I'm sure there's things that will annoy you, and I. Let's get to the video. Robert, you want to talk about the video?
Well, yeah. Well, let me just one question first. One more question here. So, why is it that you think at our age, middle age, right?
Yeah.
And we're all in that middle age group. Why is it that relationships are failing more than ever now? Like, what is it? What's happening
age group?
In our age group? Yeah.
Okay, I have thought about this because we're bitter.
You're bitter.
No, I think what I used to value about myself most. I was just telling somebody this, that I was very much a free spirit, trusted everybody, very giving and open. And I would say probably just over the past 10 years, that's changed. And I just don't trust everybody the way I used to. I'm just more like reserved. Once you kind of get past that barrier, listen, it's, I'm an open book, but I am a little bit more reserved and I just don't trust people as much. Like, you see people for what they are, you can see through a lot of things. And it's like, I don't have time for the BS. Like, I'll just be over here. You go ahead. I'll be here. But I think relationships are failing because, it's obvious. Like, people are set in their ways. People have, trying to combine two families, trying to combine two ways of doing things is really tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a before we get into the video, any other questions? Because I think, the video is definitely going to be kind of where we divide. Because I know even, just from the guys that I've talked to about the video, we have kind of a split group here. So the video I'm talking about is Cam Newton did an interview with, I want to say $1 million of Game. Is that the podcast? Right.
Right.
So it was it wasn't a lot about what he said. I mean, as far as it wasn't long, what he was talking about, but it seemed to hit a nerve with a lot of women.
I knew what a woman was, not a bad bitch.
Okay, what's the difference?
A woman.
Okay.
A bad bitch is a person who's just, you know, girl, I'm a bad bitch. You know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I look the part, but I don't act the part.
Okay.
You know, and it's a lot of women who are bad bitches, and I say bitches in a way not to degrade a woman, but just to go off the aesthetic of what they deem is a boss chick. Now, a woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs, right? And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like, I'm a boss bitch, like I'm a this, I'm a that. No, baby, like, but you can't cook.
Okay.
You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead.
All right. So, Miss Jenna, what'd you think when you watched that video? What was your opinion?
Well, can I ask you a question first?
Sure.
What was your opinion?
You know what? Let me tell you. So my opinion was, I didn't have a problem with what he said. I might not have agreed with 100% of what he said, but I'm okay with him having that opinion. Okay. I think in our society now, in this country, is like we've gotten so far as like we can't agree to disagree.
Right.
You know, like, you know, I'm easygoing and you know, and
There's a couple of different videos. Which one are we talking about?
no, I'm talking about the Cam Newton video. When you talk about
what part are we?
the boss bitch part, and you know she can't even cook. So I'll drop the clip. You know, I'll drop it here on the video so everybody can watch it. But yeah, like listen, it's just another man's opinion. Like I don't have a problem with a man having his own opinion. I have my opinion. It may not be exactly what his is. All right, and I don't think he was really calling. In my opinion, I don't think he was really calling women bitches. I think he was just kind of using the vernacular that they use, you know, and that's a very common vernacular. It's like, hey, I'm a boss bitch, you know, I'm a boss, you know, that's what he was saying. I don't think he was calling women bitch, but that was what I got. Like, listen, we're free. We can have our own opinions, and you know, I don't think he should be canceled because he has an opinion that's different than you know what you know conventional society says is appropriate now. So that's my
Rob,
opinion.
newsflash.
Go ahead, bro.
You can't question women, bro. You didn't know that?
Yeah, I know.
You cannot call women on their shit, bro. You just
Well,
gotta
you
keep
can't,
that in mind.
you can't question a man for what he wants or a woman for what they want. They want what they want. His presentation was weak. I think he could have presented much better. But I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with what he wants in life out of a woman. That's what he wants, right? And I'm sure they're lining up for that. But I think he could have presented and made himself look a little more intelligent by using, I don't know, just wording it differently. My opinion.
Say it again. You kind of froze up a little bit, Mitchell. Say that last part again.
Oh, I just didn't. I didn't have a problem with who he wants as far as a mate, but I had an issue with how he presented it.
Okay.
Jenna?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Nas, go ahead, Nas.
No, go ahead, Nemo.
Nemo, go ahead, brother.
Nemo.
To be honest with you, I don't have any problem with what he says. I don't think he could have done it any better, Mitch, to be honest with you. I don't know what else do you want him to say? He was trying to be as nice as possible. You can't be a buzz bitch and you can't cook, and that's a fact. It's just that simple. I mean, what does you want? I'll pay him for saying that. I mean, I don't know who else. Why are people mad about it? I mean, it's just that simple. Everybody wants to. Oh, I'm a bad bitch. What does that even mean? What? You have your own money, you have your own car, and you can't cook? I mean, you can't give me water. You know, I mean, it's crazy. You know, I mean, I have nothing to say. I mean, go Cam Newton. I'll support that cause, whatever you say.
Okay. I think you just lost your chances there. I'm watching Jenna's face in response to your opinion.
It got longer. And longer
whatever little bit of chance you had, it just went out the window, brother.
Hey, everything is fluid. It's like water. I got to hear what she needs to say.
There There you go.
Nas, what you got, brother?
Yeah, man, I'm with Nemo on this one, man. I think what he was talking about was what he's seeing, what the reality of the situation is. He's not saying, like he even talked about growing up in a household with a father and a mother that were together for 40 years, and that's what he saw women be more traditional, right? Probably our guest today probably fits into the mold of the type of woman that he sees as, wholesome, right? The women that he was talking to uh, are the ones that are mad right now. Like the ones that he was saying are not what he's looking for, right? Now, all women are probably going to jump on the bandwagon because you just can't say nothing to women right now. You just can't, right?
It's not.
So, but I think that the point of the gist of what he was saying, if we're going to live in a society where there are roles, there are gender roles, then what he was saying is absolutely correct. If we're going to live in a gender role-less society, then what he was saying was not right. But women of all stripes still want men to be traditional in certain ways, but they want to act in non-traditional ways. You can't be a boss bee and also think that you're going to be with a high-level guy and he's going to be your flunky. And Cam Newton is, despite what people might think about his intelligence, he is a 1% guy, and that's just what it is. So that's my piece on that.
Miss Jenna, go ahead, girl.
How old is Cam Newton? Does anyone know?
32, 33 maybe?
30, yeah.
Okay.
Low to mid 30s.
So he's probably a generation away from you, gentlemen. I'm gonna ish, right? He's like one generation down. So I think we need to take that into consideration, because when I think about what he said, I'm going to guess women 40, mid 40s and up probably don't give a damn, are like whatever, it didn't phase us. And I
don't think they responded at all.
No, we have a different take on it. When you talk about gender roles, I mean, consider Cam Newton. Let's take that out, because Cam Newton is known to wear female clothing and dresses and things like that as well. So I'll go back to what Nemo said. It's all fluid, right? I don't think he's going to. He is probably the wrong person to tell me who and what a woman should. Now, he can tell me what he likes, but to define what a woman should be doing, you said, can you get me water? Can you get your own water? I'd be happy to get you water. I'm happy to get my man a drink of water. However, okay.
That's a red flag.
Put me in the box, in the violation box. But when I think about what he said, let's see, there was something he said about, does she know when to shut up, and things like that. Okay, let's go back. I think you were right, Robert, in saying that he could have said I get what he was trying to express, but it reminds me of, when he said, as a bad bitch, she, this and that, but she can't cook, but it reminds me of the alpha male who, like, I'm an alpha male, this and that, but you can't pay the bills. It's like, it's a parallel. Come on, man. It's very similar. So I think take all of it out, take the bitch out, take all of that. What he was trying to say was, he likes to tap into the fragility and probably to a more feminine side of women. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I don't think he understands how to get there, what he's looking for, because when we boss up, when we say I'm a boss bitch and I can do this and that, we are in our masculine energy, right? We're sort of saying, I can manage all this by myself and I don't need a man. While it may be true that we need to vocalize it, I think is a bit offensive and harms the ego and the armor of men in some way.
That's right.
Okay, all right. And what you got, bro? Nemo, I seen the flag, bro. You still got something over there, or what?
Well, she kind of blend into some of the answers when she kept going. But my thing is, when I was talking about, can you hand me water, or can you do this for me? that sometimes is a sign of love. So if I'm in a relationship and my woman says, "Can you get me water?" Of course I can get you water because that's the specific. She's looking for specific for that love for me to give her water. It doesn't mean I'm weak or I'm anything.
No.
It's just a figure of speech. Just, hey, can you give me? That's the love that you can offer your man at that specific time. So if you can cook or if you can do anything, I don't get the point of it. So when I say give me water, that's just another way of expressing love to your partner. Basically, that's what I was trying to say.
I think Cam's problem was what Mitchell said. He's inarticulate. He's an athlete. He's a quarterback. He's probably got some kind of brain damage. And I mean, it's likely he's got CGC or CG, whatever that is, right?
Yeah.
CTE, right? And so I think that what he was trying to say and what I would have said, well, I don't know, I can be kind of rude, not intentionally, but I can say things sometimes that not in a way that there's a better way to say it sometimes. Mm-hmm. But what I took from what he was saying was that you cannot be men have a certain expectation for women that a lot of these women are not expressing an interest in wanting to do anymore. And one of those things is to have that feminine energy. Like I think that it's Jena, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think what you said about women your age didn't care, and that's because women your age aren't trying to be masculine. You guys are not trying to be boss bees. Like, how many times have you called yourself that other than the one time you said it today? Like, most women are not saying that. This is why we named our show Middle Age, so we can talk about issues that relate to people like us. Because we don't deal with women that would say that. Like, if I hear a woman say, I'm independent or I'm a boss bee, I'm in the win. Because that's you're presenting masculine energy. And there's nothing wrong with being a woman. There's nothing wrong with femininity. It is a beautiful thing. Now, I think that we're crossing each other. A lot of times, men and women are crossing each other sideways, and we're not getting anywhere because of that. And I think that that's kind of where Cam kind of got on that side of it.
And I think it's important to keep kind of clear lines. Like, I don't need to adopt what 30-year-olds are saying. They will go through their own iteration. The pendulum will swing. They will, you know how it goes. So they'll come to a place as well where they go, God, I tell you, I'll give you an example. My daughter's 29 and she thought for a while that she was going to have, she's like, I think I just need a sperm donor. Like, I'm good. I think I can raise kids on my own. She saw me do it. She's like, I got this. I got her a puppy. It's been maybe 2 months. She's like, yeah. And long story, she's like, yeah, this doesn't work. Like I need 2 of us. And I can't raise kids. Like, she's like, there's no way I would ever raise a kid alone, let alone this dog, So time, a little wisdom, a little experience goes a long way. So I think, in the music, it's a very kind of fun female aesthetic right now in music, to independent and boss up. But I think at the end of the day, most women know that we like the comfort of a man. Most straight women, we like the comfort of a man, and we want a male energy around us. I don't want to get up and go check on the noise in the garage. I don't want to change the light bulbs. I like a man around.
Yeah, but a lot of these women, if they with me and they talk about we equal. And that 3 a.m. knock come, I'm be like, yo, Sean, you gonna get that? Or I mean, if we equal, you know what I'm saying? If we equal, because if we don't have the gender situation, if our gender roles are equal, then who's supposed to get that? Now, my nature is gonna make me go get that because that's how I was raised. I'm a middle-aged man.
Gonna ask.
Right?
And do you date younger women typically, or what age women do you usually date?
It's fluid, baby.
Let's go. Seriously, I know you have a type. So what do you usually date? How old is she?
Seriously, she's got to be probably above 25. Like if I'm being serious,
Okay.
right? And if she's 25, she's got to be really, really, really accomplished.
Mhm.
Like she's got to be graduated from law school or a PhD or working on something like that. She can't just be some girl working at Kmart. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but if she's young, she's got to have accomplished something, right?
Mhm.
We had this conversation on one of our shows, and I don't have a age where it stops, right? But I do. If the woman is good looking, then she can be a lot older, but she's got to have demonstrated that she can keep her stuff together.
And the younger
Physically.
women have to demonstrate. So you want the younger women to demonstrate a sense of maturity and accomplishment. You want the old women to demonstrate that they're still keeping it together in a youngish vein. Is that right?
If you're older, they have a tendency to get fat, and I don't want that. So, and most men don't. A lot of guys just won't say it. So the reason why I said that is because I want a combination of intelligence and a woman to be physically appealing. That's just the truth. Every man does.
Yeah.
If you see a guy, one of the things that the guys do is we shoot for women below our level, right? Like if you walk down the street, you're probably going to be approached by the guy that approaches every woman, or you're going to be approached by a guy who believes that he's on your level. You're not going to be approached by most guys, because they're going to feel like they can't get you. And so guys approach women that are a step below what they think they are. That's just the facts. And so when a guy is clear about what he wants a woman that has her mental game together and her physical game together as well. And I think that that's a fair trade-off, because women say they want 6 feet, 6-pack, 6 figures, right? Not all of y'all, but a lot of you. But then you fat as hell.
But do you think that men?
Why?
But I mean, I think it's biologically true to say men and women gain weight as they get older. Both.
Yep.
And what are you talking about? I mean, so let me ask you this. You said earlier, I don't mind if my guy has a little bit. None of us are going to say that. None of us are going to say, I'm okay if my girl got a little bit of. No. Now, some of us might say it to be politically correct, but we're going to be looking at that pudge like, when you going to work on that? And that's just the facts. We do not, men want to. Now, I'm not saying you have to be perfect, Jenna. What I'm saying is you can't be sitting up eating Twinkies all day long while I go to the gym and then have conversation for me like you're better than me.
No, I hear you, but I mean, again, so you do understand that hormones for women do change over time, and even if we don't eat Twinkies, our body just naturally kind of rounds and does things that just look different. Like, you know that, right?
What do you think you look like right now?
What do you mean? What's your?
Do you think that you're a good looking woman right now? Like physically and in your appearance?
Yeah.
Okay. So why you talking about these fat bitches?
Well, I'm also telling you, clothes hide a multitude of sins, and my 30-year-old body is not my 49-year-old body.
But your 49-year-old body is hot. So what I'm saying to you is, see, women don't want to call each other to the carpet. Like men, we get called to the carpet all the time when we aren't up to par. But women want to start talking about hormones when they are not living up to. Men are telling you guys what we want and what we like. That doesn't mean that we won't accept something less than that, right? I'm not saying that I wouldn't date a pudgy woman, but I'm saying if all that's out there is pudgy women, what the hell is going on?
That's not true.
When all the guys are going to the gym. No. That's just
Okay.
an exaggeration of the situation.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that not that fat women or pudgy women don't deserve love and there's not some issues. What I'm saying is that the standard that men are put under, we don't get a pass on it.
Oh, I think you do.
In what way?
I think men get more of a pass on their body than women get on their body.
But that's because you guys accept it. If a guy has money, you guys, I mean, how many fine women did Biggie Smalls have? Because he was Biggie Smalls,
Sure,
right?
sure. But
Now, if he was just a fat guy that worked at UPS, he would have to be with another fat girl, right?
unless he was really funny, I don't know. He could,
But that's what I'm saying. Like, he has to be extraordinary at something if he's fat as hell.
Yeah.
But a guy says, no, I want a woman that is got it together. She's and like she's doing her best, right?
But would
like,
you choose a woman? But now let me ask you this. I feel like you guys would choose a beautiful woman who doesn't have two brain cells to rub together. Just because
that's not
she's
true,
beautiful.
Jenna. That's not true, Jenna.
No,
It's really not. No, it's not. It's not.
but
I'm telling you, like,
but I've seen it.
now you talking about wives or just the side piece?
I don't know.
Oh, you see what I'm saying?
I see it all the time. I see these.
But those are. Let me give you an example, right? So I worked at a airline, right? And one day they wanted me to help with overtime to go to work at the museum, right? So I go to the museum and I see all these rich guys in there, but all these tall, beautiful women,
Yeah.
right? None of them were their wives,
Yeah.
right? And so how did this guy get this beautiful young girl to come out with him while his wife was at home? His money and his status, right?
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is a guy has to fly to be able to get a woman. Like, most guys probably see you and think, ain't no way in hell I could get that woman.
Yeah.
And you're probably thinking, just try, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a guy, because of the way the culture has done us, right? It is very difficult for a man, unless you're like Nemo, who shoots at everything. No, I'm just kidding. He'll be simping. Like, if I didn't call him a simp, he'd be simping on you right now. Look at it. Put that red one up there. You know you want to put that red one up there. Before you go, let me let her respond. Do you understand what I mean? I'm not trying to say that that all men just want 100% fit women at any cost. But everybody wants to be with the best partner that they can be with.
I agree with that.
And that's all I'm saying. I just probably said it in a Cam Newtonish way.
Yeah.
But that's my point, because I don't think that all of us we've all had women in our lives that were not exactly the best, like weren't not the best, but physically what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And we still cared about them. So it's not that. It's just that when we say at this point what we want, we're just talking about what is the ideal situation for what we might.
What's most
wanna
appealing
have
to you?
now.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Nemo, you got some? Go ahead,
yeah. I'm just gonna add to that. I think you got a point, but when it comes to your woman getting a little weight or guys getting a little weight, when you start a relationship, what happens is everybody becomes relaxed. I mean, you stop doing what you used to do. Girls might say, "Love me for me." Well, when I met you, you were 6 foot, 120 pounds. 1 year, you were 6 foot, 140 pounds. I can't love you because there's an extra pounds there. We got to take that off. But also the guy also gained weight. But personally, from my own personal experience, to be honest with you, I like a girl to be fit. If she's gaining weight, I run. I'm constantly playing soccer. I'm doing something. She's gonna be doing that with me. So, but I get the point. I really want my girls to be in shape. I'm with Nas on that. But the girl also needs to tell me if I'm doing something, or if she don't see me the way she used to be. Hey, let me know, and I'll work on it. So it goes both ways. So Jenna, you're absolutely right about that. It goes both ways.
Right. Mitch, you got anything to say from the other side of mass, brother?
No, I'm just sitting here enjoying this, and I've been in two relationships come to mind right away about dating above my pay grade, I guess. Someone I never imagined that would show interest in me, and that's because we were connected up here. And Rob, her name's Aisha. Spent 10 years with her. She had two boys. I helped raise her sons. Absolutely. I still love her and we're still in contact. But, as a 6 foot tall woman and I'm, 5'8", we were just being friends at work and it worked out really well. And then I've been in another relationship where she was stunningly physically fit, really, really beautiful all the way around. She could put on weight and it wouldn't even matter. But then I dated a woman recently in the last 7 years in Canada who didn't have that physical. She had more of a pear shape. Not so significant in the beginning, but later on, you know what I'm talking about, Jen. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to give you an idea.
You're being rude.
But we connected really well up here. And that lasted for 7 years. But the fact that, the distance really got in the way. She's still living in Canada. Super successful, highly driven, great sense of humor. We really connected on a lot of levels, but she could never leave the country ever because of her kids being the ages that they are. Right. So, in two different scenarios, these two women came up into my head as we were all talking.
And they came up because you feel like they were sort of above your pay grade, or were you
just, well,
and I don't
Aisha
mean
and I,
monetarily, but just they were women that you thought.
Well, Aisha was stunning. Aisha turned heads. We'd go to the mall, we'd be holding hands, and she would just turn heads. She was absolutely stunning. And here's a guy 10 years older than her. At the time, I wasn't making a lot of money. She wasn't making a lot of money. It didn't matter. The follow-up woman in Canada was not physically stunning, where she was grabbing attention and people were staring at her. But she made an incredible amount of money, probably twice what I'm making. Just really, really driven. And she saw something in me as well that didn't bother her, except the distance caused the problem. So I was listening to your conversation with Nasir, and those two women came to mind into the examples of your conversation with him.
When you were with her, how did you feel when you were with her? How did you feel when you were in public with her? And does that matter? I don't know if what was more important, was that at home or in public, but in public, how did you feel with her?
With
and
Aisha?
Did you ever ask her how she felt with you?
You're talking the 6 foot tall
Sure.
Aisha stunning woman?
Right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. I was very comfortable with it. Always was. I would make jokes about it. So maybe my jokes covered up some insecurities, but she never, ever gave me a reason to be insecure.
Okay.
Very loving, very honest, very truthful. I probably made her more uncomfortable because of the jokes I would make in public.
Yeah. Good.
But no, it was a mutual solid love. We, like I said, we still are in contact. We haven't been, it's been 10 years now since we've split, and we're still in contact. We still talk about the boys. The boys are grown. They're 25 and 23, and we're still interested in making sure that they have the right upbringing.
It's a beautiful story. I will tell you that when I'm with men, it's hard to find like a man that I feel like is a good match for me. So, you date, you try different things. For me, it's kind of like.
Why do you think that, Jenna?
I don't know that I have a good answer for that. It's hard to find. Because I'm somebody I like to dress. I like to, even if I'm just casual, I'm still going to be pretty pulled together. And I like a guy who's pulled together. And that's hard to find. Like a guy who can just they're on a shirt and pants and, look nice. It's rare. Most guys our age, dress like
they're
dads.
comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things that we're doing on our show is, and we're going to be talking to men about, looking good and smelling good. This Tom Ford right there, baby.
Oui.
we're gonna be getting guys together with their appearance, right?
Yes.
Middle-aged guys should not be letting themselves go. They should be trying to put these, we were in Thailand and what happened, guys? What we do? We got bespoke suits made.
Nice.
We got shirts made. But for you, the problem in America with women like you and some other women that I know that are on your level is that there are only a certain places in America where you're going to find your match.
Mhm.
That's DC, New York, maybe Chicago, maybe San Francisco. That's it. You're not going to find it in maybe Florida, maybe somewhere like that. Maybe
Definitely
Atlanta.
not St. Louis or Dallas.
Right, you're not going to find it. You're not going to
find a Southern guy. See, I like the chivalry of kind of like a Southern guy who, I might not be mad at a Southern guy, but I think you're right about that. I kept, and I go overseas, like usually I go overseas a lot. Just find somebody there.
Well, just like us.
Yeah.
It's just like us. I mean, you'll find whatever you want in certain places around the world where these men congregate, and you have to be intentional about it. Like, we all know like where we can go to find women that fit what we want, and we do it with that intention. And someone like you, if you just can't feel some kind of way about it if that's what you decided to do. Like,
No.
I'm this kind of level. I'm going to go to this place with the intention of maybe opening myself up to the possibility of meeting someone.
Oh, absolutely. Have no problem with that. No problem.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hey, Jen, I got a question for you. One last question before she goes. Hey, Jen, so, Jenna, are you willing to date?
No, she's not going on a date with you, bro. I'm just fucking around. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, it's fluid. I'll get back to that later on. But are you willing to date less, just lower the expectation down just a little and be able to find somebody that will make you feel what you want to feel, like make you laugh? Because usually financial guys that are real financially stable, they are very serious, driven, they're focused on what they're trying to do. Guys that are not as financially stable, they are more happy with what they have. They're more,
Right.
I don't know, they're more free, they're more funny. They take themselves lightly compared to a financial, more serious guys.
That's
What do you
because they
think?
ain't got no money, bro.
Well,
you have
but for her, that would work perfectly.
Okay, well, I know what he's saying, Jenna, but let me tell you, like, let me crystallize it, right? When you say Nemo, when you say lower her level, what are you talking about?
Okay, so
Money,
okay,
intelligence, education. What are you talking about?
financially, just break it
She
down.
already said the money is not key.
Yeah, but that's part of who she is. Because, like you said, Nas, her stature, if you look at her, it's gonna be hard for a guy to say, if I was in Vegas, if I see her, I'm like, I can't get her. But like you said, she might be like, just give it a shot. I might just say I can get her just by her appearance, the way she looks. But one thing I'm also going to ask you, Jenna, what is your personality like? Are you more social? Do you approach it? If you like a guy, are you willing to approach the guy, or do you want the guy to approach you?
Well, it would be lovely if he approached me, but I have often found that guys are, can be a little shy. And so I will avail myself to conversation if I'm interested.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he has to pick up on it from that point.
Yeah.
That's awesome you said that, because a lot of women be standing over in the corner. If he like me, he'll come. If he ain't man enough, girl, shut up. You don't know the stuff that men go through every day. How many times we get shot down by trash, and then we see a good woman and we thinking, oh well, I mean, it's tough. It's tough out here.
I mean,
So-
let me tell you, I'm the person who didn't have a prom date and didn't get asked out a lot, and it's really the question that comes up when I'm dating is, well, why are you single? It's like, well, why the hell do you think I'm single? Because, nobody wants to ask me out. I hate to say it, but I don't get asked out a lot.
So this is a good conversation because guys can see that a woman like you, the way how to go about getting the conversation,
Yeah.
right? And not feeling, now you can't be a Pookie and a Ray Ray, right?
Correct.
Okay. So Pookies and Ray Rays,
Don't apply.
keep it stepping,
Don't
right?
apply.
But if you are a guy who's well dressed, you smell good, you're making you're making a decent amount of money. This young lady right here is saying that she's available for conversation, and that's I think what we have to start talking about.
What is Pookie and Ray Ray again? I'm sorry, I'm a foreigner. Can you help me out with that?
You know what Pookie and Ray Ray is?
I mean, I've heard it on TV, but what's the definition of it?
Okay, you really don't
He
know.
really don't
No.
know, brother.
Oh, okay. They are more like the thuggish guys, the guys that are kind of they got tattoos on their necks.
Hustlers.
Yeah.
Like a hustler type.
Hustlers, yeah, the hustler guy, the scammers, the drug dealers, the guys like that. They don't really have a lot of them don't really have like a set job, like that. So, but they might be 6 feet. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They might get the women because of that.
Okay, Jenna, I got one more question. One more question. All right, so if a guy is to approach you, how would you want them to approach you? I mean, if they come up to you, what is that presentation? Hi, Jenna, I'm having dinner tonight. Would you care to join me? Would that be a good way to start? What is the conversation like? What will it be like to start a conversation with you?
Well, it's always nice when a man shows interest. I've been out where a man will spend 2 hours speaking only of himself, and that's not fun. But when he shows genuine interest, what brings you here to the city? Are you here often? Just showing genuine interest in me, what I'm doing, what I'm about. Are you comfortable? Hey, is the sun too much? Just check in on me. Like if you're gonna take my time, like how's your time? Are you good? Do you have 15 or 20 minutes to have a conversation? Just show genuine interest, genuine concern, check in. And then, of course, would you like a drink? Are you hungry? What do you need? Just show genuine interest.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, listen.
And bring that feminine energy.
Listen, I promised yesterday that I was only going to keep Miss Jena for like 20 minutes, but we've already gotten close to an hour. So I'm going to let her go. I know she has company. Miss Jena, I so appreciate you coming on the show and spending some time and being our first guest and giving us
Happy to.
that middle-aged woman point of view. So thankful.
And Ms. Jenna, don't forget, I did ask you a question. That very last part, there's 2 definitions to that. So I hope you read that. You're able to read on to that.
Okay.
What the hell?
But no,
I don't know if did you get that, Ms. Jenner? I don't know if you
We
did,
didn't
but
get it,
I can say it again just to make sure you got it.
No. Well, I'm counting on. I know Robert will call and translate for me later.
First of all, Nemo, I don't think she got it, and I know you're never gonna get it. So just leave it alone, bro.
Best of luck to all. Listen, it is not easy out here. Listen, as a woman, I can say we're not easy. We're complicated. We're very simple, but we're complex. How about that? Simple yet complex. So I get it. I know it's scary, but step up. Give it a try. We want good conversation. We want to know what you're about. We're interested in you. So step up.
All right, so listen. Hey, before I let you go, we're still hoping to be in Vegas. We need to get together.
Okay. I'm on it.
All right.
We're
gonna have a mixer or something. We're gonna have to get together.
Yeah.
And we'll keep Nemo away from you.
Miss Jenna, I'm having dinner tonight. Do you care to join me?
Oh, that question.
That was a question, a 2-way question. I'll let you simmer on that.
All right, brother. Thanks for letting us in. All right. Thank you, baby. I appreciate it. Gentlemen, good show.
Thank you, Jenna.
We'll talk again soon.
Audio Jungle. Audio Audio Jungle.